they have all the good intentions for it, but it's like they do things that really aren't right.
So when you moved to California at 6, have you been at that same studio from then to graduation?
I'm just being birthed into this like Shark Tank. And then we all went swimming at my house, and I just knew you for like 2 hours. Yeah. The more and more it went on, the more I was just like ready to be done. Right. Dance moms.
Why weren't you on dance moms?
Well, there's like 200 judgmental teenagers staring at you.
I think parents should just not be involved.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Stop Talking Kenz. I'm your host, Kenz, and oh my god, look who we have. Emily Madden. Hi guys. So excited for today. We're just going to be going into all the tea.
Talking about life.
Yes, okay.
All the things.
I've known Emily before I even moved to California.
Right.
Like, we were like
here for like a summer month before you moved or something.
We weren't like gonna move, and I knew her. That's so weird.
I know, you're so
It's been like actually like
little babies.
8 years. Whoa,
that's
so weird. So we were like here for summer. The twins and I knew literally no one, and you and your mom were so nice. We literally went over and swam at your house.
Swimming. We were out.
Wait, there was someone else there. No, I swear.
Yeah, we were at an intensive. Yeah, and then we all went swimming at my house, and I just knew you for like 2 hours. Yeah,
and
we just decided to all have a big get together. Who was it though?
Someone else was there.
Me and you, the twins.
I swear someone else was there.
I don't know. I guess it was just one of my other friends.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even remember who it was.
I think it was someone else.
That's one of your friends. I don't remember. I just remember the swimming. No.
I do remember that. Yeah.
That was so fun. Where were we at? We're at the Space Intensive. I think we were there because I remember like doing all the technique and stuff, and then we were just like talking on the side of the thing.
Like the Brea Space Intensive.
Right.
Okay, tell us about how you got into dance. Like, how old were you? How'd you get started?
Yeah, so I started when I was 2. Wow. Because my sister started dancing when it was her bribe. So the whole thing started because my mom, like, couldn't get this kid out of diapers, okay? So my mom was like, well, you can't go to dance class if you're wearing a diaper.
Like your sister.
Right, my sister. She's like, you can't go to dance class if you're wearing a diaper. So the deal was that if she would finally stop the diapers, she could go to dance class.
Oh my god.
So that's how it all started. So my sister started when she was like 2, and little did she know, she got to the dance class and they were all wearing diapers. So the bribe didn't totally work out for her, but they started her there. And so then she's 8 years older than me. So she was like then 10 when I started dancing.
Right.
And it was just like, it made sense. I wanted to do what she was doing. I was at the dance studio already, just like sitting there. So I started then, and then I didn't start competing though till I was 7, and that's when I moved here. So I guess that's why I did one group dance at my sister's studio, just like for the heck of it, and that was the year before we moved.
So when you moved here, she also moved and started competing over here?
Right, yeah. So we kind of moved, like, my mom had been back and forth from California for like a long time. So it wasn't like, oh, we were just moving to this like foreign state. It was like the same thing. So I was born in Pittsburgh, so that's where we like started dancing and all of that. Dance moms.
Why weren't you on Dance Moms?
Well, they actually like came to our studio first. Like they went to all the studios in Pittsburgh and like asked around like who would want it. They pitched the show to all of them. And then everybody turned it down except for ALEC. They wanted it because Abby, I guess, like was having problems like keeping the studio. Now this is just a rumor, but I'm assuming it's true because it was like I was close in proximity, so I kind of knew it was happening. But yeah, she like was having trouble with the studio, so she had to like
imagine if you were on Dance Moms.
I know, isn't that so funny to think
about?
But
you never could be. I feel like you're like too nice. You and your mom are way too nice.
No, my mom would just be like, okay.
Yeah, she'd be like, yeah, I can't say that.
No, my sister and me would get ripped right out of there. But we started dancing super young, and then I don't know, kind of just stuck, I guess. Yeah. But when we first moved out here, she made me do everything. She was like, okay, you have to try swimming, you have to try soccer, you have to try. Yeah, she was like, I don't want you just doing it because your sister did it. Like, she wanted me to, like, find my thing, but I was doing jetés on the soccer field, and that lasted one season, and I was like, please just let me dance. Yeah, so then I started competing at Madden.
What are some advantages and disadvantages of like following in your sister's footsteps of dancing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was always more advantages than disadvantages just because of the age gap.
Right.
It was never like we were competing against each other.
Like me and the twins.
Right. Like that, it's a way harder situation because it's like you're so close that it's like you're doing the same thing at the same time. Yeah. But for me, it's like Katie mainly competed in Pittsburgh because she moved here when we were like 15.
Right.
Or when, she was 15 and I was only like 6. So it was like, when she started competing at Mather, she was in the like senior groups and I was in the mini ones. Right. So it was like there was no comparison there. So I guess it was really just like good because she was closer to my age than my mom was. So it was more like a second mom type thing.
That's cute.
You know what I mean? Because it was like my mom couldn't always give advice for things that I was dealing with because it was so different for her. But Katie was like closer to where I was at. So, I mean, it was always kind of just like I had someone to look up to and she would just kind of help me out.
Was she like, did she like give you like corrections and like was she like a dance teacher?
Not really. She kind of just let me do my own thing and like
I do not let the twins do their own thing. I'm literally, they come off stage and they're not even like, Mom, did I do good? They're like, Kenz, did I do good? Because they know I'll be like so honest with them.
Oh, totally. And I always like asked for her approval and stuff. But again, it was like she was so much older. So if I came off stage and I was like 9 years old and she's like, no, you did awful. That's just kind of evil.
Rude. Yeah.
So like it was a little bit different. But she always tried to help me out. And I always was always looking for her like approval though. So
what's like a moment in your dance like competition journey that like sticks out to you in like a good way, like a high of like competing, like competition wise or like behind
either. Okay, I guess like competition, I think Radix was a big thing for me,
like nationals.
Yeah, because I was never like, I always said well, I'm not saying that I was like, oh, I never did good at all, but it was never really a situation of like I was placing super high or like anything like that until really my last like 2 years of competition. I never won any solo category until I was in the senior category. So it was like I really did like the slow situation.
Like, you know, some people they like literally win junior and then
they
like
peak when they're 8 and then they just kind of get tired of it. So it's like I'm grateful that I didn't, but I guess then like that nationals was more meaningful because I had never like, and like I said, like there was velocities and stuff where I like did really well and I like almost won. I got like first runner up, whatever, but also I'd always like watched all the dance offs and all of that and never done it. So I think it was super cool when I did it. It kind of, I guess, proved it a little bit to me that I was like, okay, like I'm up there with the kids that I always like I am like with, you know. So
oh my god, I never thought of it like that. Like I feel like winning senior when you're not like the mini best dancer who's won every single year is like so meaningful.
I know,
because like so many people die out like their passion fades for it because like competition is a lot and it like takes a lot out of you for sure. So like having that drive still at senior is like
exactly. And I think it was also like I didn't overdo it at all when I was little. Like I did it
such a big thing.
I did it very slow because my mom also didn't really care.
I feel like that's how we were.
Like my mom didn't care at all if I did it or not really. So it was kind of just
so
like
much better.
It was really just purely for the fun of it. So then it's like when I wanted to be serious about it, it was really on me. And so then it like I said, it was kind of like peaking at the right time because now I feel like I'm
where you need to be
for what I want to do. So
so I feel like people in the dance world, you get in your like groups, right? And those friendships can like either last like so long and they're like your best friend for life, or they're just like the superficial, like whatever we see at a dance competition, like whatever. So what have you learned from like the people you've surrounded yourself with within dance? Like how is that transformed like now that you're out of the competition world? You know what I mean?
I think it's like it's gonna be interesting now going into the like professional industry, having grown up with competition, because I think there is, like you said, there's a lot of like superficial kinds of things that like happen when you're at convention. And I'm not to say that it's all like negative, because I definitely love that like I can go into a convention room and I know people and they'll like at least act like they're my best friend, which is like, I don't know if it's always true or not, but it is. There definitely still is somewhat of a community there, but now I think it's going to be super interesting, like, when I go out to LA and I go to auditions and I'm trying to make, like, these real, like, more adult friendships, I guess, like, how that's going to be different, because I do have, like, the core group of kids that I just grew up with, and I've known them all my life, and that's, like, amazing, and I'm so grateful for that, but then I'm super excited to see, like, the difference, because I love, like, all my convention, like, friends and things like that, and I think it's so important, but I don't know, I think it's gonna be different now. I'm not in that anymore. If that makes sense.
So what are your feelings, like, on graduating? Like, you're done with competition.
I know, it's wild. I can't believe that I'm done, but it also feels like I was so ready. Like, it was, I think, I guess my junior year of high school, I was like, I'm so upset about this, I don't want to leave, because that was also the year I was, like, kind of doing well in competition. I got, like, the Radix thing, I knew I was touring the next year, so I was like, this is so awesome, like, I just want to keep doing this for the rest of my life. But then, so I was, like, depressed that year. You know what I mean? And there was, like, a bunch of my friends that were graduating, so I was kind of just like, shoot, like, I don't want this to happen. But then senior year rolled around, and, like, this sounds bad, but the more and more it went on, the more I was just, like, ready to be done. And not even, like, a negative way. It was just like, okay, I can see myself not doing this anymore. And it was like, I think it's also, you get this, when you do something for, like, so long, so many years, it's like there comes a point where you're just like, okay, like, it's time. And, like, it's time to have a new routine. It's time to not be doing the same exact thing anymore. So I think that's the most exciting part for me.
I feel like, well, I haven't competed yet this year. I just, like, don't even feel like a senior.
Exactly. And then, like, it's like the more and more your year is gonna go on, you're just gonna be like, okay, like
I don't even feel like it. Okay, so what are some post-graduation plans?
So, I mean, right now it's kind of all terrifying, to say the least, because I'm not going to school, so I'm just, like,
playing it by ear,
thrown out. It's like I'm just being birthed into this, like, Shark Tank of, like, okay, figure it out. But right now, I mean, I got hired as a pro assistant on Velocity, so I'm touring with them this year, so that's, like, exciting. I'm super excited,
and then you get to stay in, like, the competition, like, world a little.
Totally. And I think I would be super sad too if I wasn't on a convention, because it was like, I think there needs to be some like familiarness about this year, because it's all going to be just, like, new, so out of whack. So I'm happy that I'm doing that, and that relieves a lot of, like, the financial stress for me too, because it's, like, a steady thing I'm doing on the weekend, so that throughout the week I can just take whatever classes I want, train however I want, audition whenever I can, and then, like, obviously end goal for me is, like, world tour or something like that. But, like, at the moment I'm so young, so it's kind of just, like, you have to wait your turn and then, like, keep training until you get to that point where it is your turn.
So you want to be, like, in LA, like, auditioning, like, putting yourself out there for dance jobs, like, and then, like, hopefully I'd want to go to New York at some point,
but I think that'll be, like, later down the line.
Tell us the difference between touring with Radix, which you did last year, right? And then being a pro assistant on Velocity.
So with Radix, I was what they were calling the, like, protege. I was part of the protege program, and so I toured all last year with them after I got the, like, runner-up thing at nationals, and I was, like, scared out of my mind to do that. Like, I
would be too.
We went to, like, the welcome weekend thing,
in LA,
so we did that.
Was that so fun?
It was fun, but honestly, for me, like, I was so intimidated and just, like, so scared, because they just, like, the classes, there's
no one there.
However many people there were, I want to say, like, 10 people.
And they're all so good.
Like, it's all the winners and all these, like, little nuggets that I'm just like, you can, like, dance circles around me. So, like, this is terrifying. And then I think once I got to my first city, though, like, I was like, okay, this is fine. Like, I know how to do this. Because I've been, like, assisting people since I was, like, a baby nugget. So it was, like, I don't know, it was easier than I was expecting just on that side of things, but obviously, like, the training was amazing. And I'm so happy that I got to do that. And I did get paid for that, too, because they paid the seniors, because basically they were just bringing us on kind of as, like, guest like pro assistants, but we were like part of the proteges.
Right.
So they did pay us, and we did work backstage, and we did all of that. So like now going into Velocity, I'm basically doing the exact same thing with Velocity that I did. It's just like
with Radix.
Right. Like I'm just now like pro assistant.
Like
I'm not like a kid
right.
National winner or whatever doing the thing, if that makes sense.
Okay. Something I've always wondered. I've obviously never assisted or did anything like that.
Right.
So being assistant, are teachers giving you like corrections and are you expected to like go on stage, know the combo, do it perfect? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's some of that to an extent, but like, what's like the training like doing that?
I think every choreographer is super different, and you have to kind of like the first class you go into with them, you have to feel it out because like I think when I step onto a stage with somebody, because I also was a part of the Velocity like MVA program when I was like 13, 14, so I've been doing it now for a while, I guess, and like I think when I was first trying to figure it out, it was like you have to like you walk on the stage, right, and you're just like, okay, there's a choreographer, now you're just going on, and then there's like 200 judgmental teenagers staring at you, and you're just like, okay. And at the time too, when I first started doing it, I was like little, so here I am 13 years old going into a senior class, expected, like I'm not even a senior yet, I'm a first year teen,
and you're I'm just like the senior room,
and that's like so scary for a kid that age. So I think feeling it out first is super like helpful, so you have to just go on, and I know I'm getting on a tangent here, but you have to like go on stage and you kind of like fill out the person. So, and if there's other assistants too, that can be helpful, because it's like, okay, if you see them like going to stop the music and like do the music for them, you know that they're like a teacher that wants somebody to do it for them, whereas there's other choreographers who are like, don't touch my computer, like I'm gonna do that, and you can tell based on the way they like go and do it, you know what I mean? And then I think it's also important to know like what your place is as an assistant. Like if they have an assistant with them, you are not the number one assistant. So it's like you have to kind of, I don't want to say back off, but you kind of have to back off, because it's like they're doing their job.
That's a really good point.
You're doing yours, and then you kind of know that like, I guess in that case, then you are kind of getting more feedback from the choreographer, because it's like they're more trying to like train you to be that one that they're hiring, if that makes sense.
That's a really good point.
So I think there's like there's different levels of it. Like there's some who are really just in it to be like, okay, I am retired, I'm not dancing anymore. You have to just show me.
There's a lot of those.
You're just showing the combo, and that's your only job here. But then there's some that are like, okay, I'm trying to like train up these kids. I think Brian's a great example of that. Because he actually really did work with us, like as we were going, kind of like, and it's very hard. It's very intense to assist him. But he's also, if you do something great, he does give you like positive reinforcement too. So it's not always like no. It's like he does try and really train you for that. Whereas there's some that definitely don't. But
they don't care.
So I think it really just depends on who it is.
Would you want to be like an assistant just for one choreographer? Like, you know how like Brian has his like 2 or 3 that are always with him? Would you want to do like that?
I mean, I kind of have with Shannon, because like it's like Nicole is her like number one, but she's kind of like her like assistant. She's like her like, she's her girl, you know what I mean? Like, no one's touching Nicole, so, like, no one tries. But then, like, I'm kind of the other one that does it when Nicole can't. So I kind of had a taste of that. And then also with Melissa Sandvik, who's the ballet teacher on Velocity. I've assisted her, like, a ton just since I was a kid. So it's, like, I've gotten kind of that. But then I've also gone to just, like, a convention where it's, like, you're everybody's. And I think that there's good and bad to both, but I think it's definitely helpful if you go on to a convention not being attached to one person.
Because then you can experience everything.
Because then you get training throughout all of it, and also, like, there's then more choreographers who are going to be like, oh, well, would you want to come and assist me on this job, or would you want to come assist me on this one? And, like, from everybody, as opposed to,
not like putting all of your eggs in one basket.
It's like you're with this one person, and then this other choreographer isn't going to come
Right.
ask you because you're already with that one person.
Right.
So, like, I kind of prefer to just be the everybody kind of person, but I also like having the, like, closer relationships.
Okay, you're literally the nicest person. I swear, she's the nicest person I've ever met. No, I'm actually being for real right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. But the dance world is so intense sometimes, and like studio drama is so intense. Like, there's just so many things like within dance that is so much more dramatic than it needs to be. So, like, how have you like remained like you throughout it all?
Yeah, I think, like I was saying before, I think it definitely did help me that I had the, like, slower peak.
Right.
And that I wasn't so involved with it as a kid, because I was very much just a kid. Like, on the weekends, if my mom would be like, oh, do you want to go to this intensive? I'd be like, no, I want to go to a slumber party with my friends.
Right.
So it was very much that until I got older. So I think, like, obviously you can still be a very nice person and be dancing when you're a kid, so I'm not saying that, but I think it definitely helps that I was, like, it wasn't my whole world. It was just, like, a part of my world when I was little.
People need to, like, stop consuming themselves so much into dance where it, like, takes them away from who they actually are. Right. Because they're so competitive.
And you can definitely do it so easily, too, because I find myself doing it all the time because I was homeschooled, too. Right. So, like, it was really my whole entire world. And, like, at the end of last year, I found myself having this bit of, like, I guess an identity crisis, to say the least, because I was kind of just like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm, like, a human first, and, like, dance is a part of my life. I don't want it to be my whole life, because I look at these people, too, who are, like, even choreographers who it's, like, it's just consumed their entire life, and I just feel like there's so much, like, I love dance with my whole heart, and it's my passion, and it's, like, what I want to do, but I also want to, like, experience life. Right. Like, I want to travel. I want to, like, have a family one day. I want to go out with my friends, and I'm trying to figure out the balance of that, because I think in my, like, last few years of competition, I definitely didn't, but I think, like, staying close to, like, family and things like that and all of that really helps when you're trying to, like, find the humanity side of it, and then also, like, not letting the competitiveness take over. Which, again, is so easy to do because, like, with social media and everything, too, it just makes it, like, 20 times easier. Because it's like, okay, you're already, like, going to these competitions, and it's like, these girls are placing higher than you at every competition, and then it's like, oh, well, they have more followers than you, and then you're, like, so not only are you looking at it when you're there, but you're also looking at it on your phone afterwards. Right. So it's like, I can so easily see when the competitiveness, like, takes over, but I think just putting, like, the passion for it, like, at the forefront is just, like, it can keep you more down to earth.
Do you ever wish you went to public high school?
Yeah, I definitely, this has been, like, a huge thing in my life, like, since the start of freshman year, because I went to school the start of freshman year. And then in September, I tried out the whole thing. I was also just, like, I don't know, I don't want to say, like, I'm introverted, because
You're not, but, like,
but I definitely keep to myself.
Right, I agree with that.
Yeah, so, like, I definitely am just kind of doing my own thing, and it was very hard for me if I don't have stuff in common with somebody.
It's hard to, like,
I'm not gonna really find a way to connect with them until I really am, like, forced to get to them. If that makes sense. So school already was, like, when I went into that 9th grade thing. Now, mind you, I had been homeschooled since 4th grade. So I got homeschooled in 4th grade, my choice. I was like, I want to do this. I had a bad teacher that year. My mom was like, okay, we'll try it through the end of the year. I started, like, halfway through 4th grade. Try it through the end of the year, and then I was like, no, I love this. Like, I love going to the studio early. I love randomly going to Disneyland in the morning with my mom. Like, I loved the freedom in it, so I kept it for a while, and obviously middle school is kind of a sucky time anyways. So my mom was like, great, we'll keep you through middle school. We'll reevaluate in 9th grade. So I did try it out. I just hated it. It was maybe just the school. It was maybe just my attitude towards it. I don't know. But then that was the year I was MBA with Velocity. So that was my first time ever, like, traveling a lot. Right. And none of the teachers were accommodating of that whatsoever. And I was kind of just like, hey, well, this is my, like, career plan. Like, I'm not trying to be a mathematician. So if you can't understand that, like, I'm going to have an absence, then it wasn't going to work. So then I stopped doing that. I went back to homeschool, And I think it didn't really, sophomore year, I was totally fine. I was like, this is great. This is exactly where I want to be. I think it was junior year that I was kind of like, okay, I'm missing it a little bit. Right. I did think about it again. I was like, okay, well, you can always go to school. I was going to go to uni.
Oh,
actually, yeah. I know. I could have. I was like gonna do.
That's like, I'm pretty sure my my school,
right,
for where I live.
Yeah, it totally is because all
close.
This area goes to uni. So I was gonna do like an interdistrict transfer.
Oh wait, I knew this.
Yeah, I was gonna transfer because that was like that summer that.
I swear I knew you were going to go there.
We were talking about it, I think, because I started at another high school around here. I started at Portola, and it was that, like, new school, so I hated that. I was going to retry it again. I just ended up not junior year. I don't even know why. I'm grateful that I didn't, because I think that's the year I trained my butt off, like, a lot. It was all... Everything I did was really geared towards my dance training, which I'm happy that I did that. But then senior year rolled around, and I was kind of just like, shoot. Because I felt like I was missing out on a lot. And I think, again, that's like what I was saying before. It was kind of when I was like, okay, I want dance to, like, not be my whole life right now. And I think I did make it my whole entire life, like, sophomore, junior year. So then senior year came, and I was like, okay, I'm missing a lot of things here. And I think that's when it got, like, really hard for me. And then everyone's, like, they're going to school, and they're going to college, and I knew that wasn't my plan either. Right. So I was like, I feel super... I guess, like, isolated from all of that because I just had none of that. So that's when it was just, like, crap for me because I was just like, okay, this sucks. But now I'm like, okay, well, you had the graduation, but you also had all the 6:30 a.m. mornings after you got home from competition at 1 a.m. the night before. So it's, like, a little bit of this. You know what I mean? So I think there's good to everything. Right. There's good to everything.
So, when you moved to California at 6, have you been at that same studio from then to graduation?
Yeah, so I started, like I said, we moved when I was 6. I had that 1 year where I did soccer and freaking pickleball and tennis and all the random things that I did that year. I did swimming and I did... Anyways,
everything.
We're not going to even talk about that. So then I was 6. I was really bad at all of that. So then at age 7, that whole, like, first year we were here was when my family was, like, evaluating different studios for me and my sister to dance at. Because at the end of the day, it was, like, solely for Katie. Because Katie's my sister. But one of the other reasons we moved here was because she really loved dance and she really wanted to do it. And the studio we were at was kind of like...
Whatever.
She had outgrown it at the time, you know? So, like, it was another perk to us moving here, for sure. I wouldn't say it's the reason we did, but it was another decision maker. So, they really wanted to make sure that they were putting us somewhere where it seemed to work out. Right. They went to all the recitals that year of all the studios around here. They went to all the, like, classes. Katie tried out all the studios, and then we settled on Mather, and... Yeah, I started when I was 7, and
How have you managed to... Like, I literally don't know anyone who's done that.
I know, it's crazy, and I think I didn't realize, I guess, how, like, wild it was until I graduated. I guess, like, the last few years, like I was saying, when I was, like, kind of nearing that point, and I was, like, it was getting to the 10-year mark.
Wow.
And I was just, like, it's been a decade of me at the same dance studio. So when I say that, like, I was ready for, like, a routine switch. It's like, I really was. Because
you really have been going there since...
Yeah, because I really had pretty much the same layout of my year since I was 7 years old. So it's like... And I think the main reason why I was able to do it was, like, the friends. And obviously I loved the teachers. I loved what I was doing. I, like, had a great relationship with them. And, like... It started from a very early age because I was just, like, the kid that was always, like, so eager to, like, do it all. And I was just that, like, that's my personality. I was just always super into it. Like, whatever I do, I'm going to go, like, all in, you know? So I was, like, from age 7, just so, like, intense about it. And the teachers, I guess, just kind of aligned with me, I guess. And so I really just built these relationships with all the teachers so quick. And then, like, my best friends... all kind of
grew up with
me.
That's cute.
So it was like all the, like, the girls above me were kind of a part of our group, and then it was, like, I had my little group.
Right.
And so I just, like, throughout all the years, it's, like, my friendships were so strong. It's, like,
That's
I couldn't
so
have...
cute.
Yeah, it's, like, I couldn't have imagined going somewhere else, because I was just, like, no, I can't leave my friends.
Right.
So it's, like, if there happened to be some sort of, like, drama or tiff, because it's, like, it's a dance
like, it's
studio,
gonna happen.
it's gonna happen.
Right.
It was, like, okay, well, what's more important to me, like... the friends or like
the drama.
The drama, yeah. Right. So and it always fell back to the friends. So it was like I think that's what kept me there so long. And then also as you grow up, I think like my studio was really geared towards the senior age division. The teen senior is where the company's the strongest. Right. Like now, obviously our little kids are amazing. I'm not saying that, but like it was very much like a heavy on the older kids. So like as you
kept getting older, it kept getting better.
Right. Yeah. And so then it kept getting more serious for me too. So then it's like, I don't know, the way the studio kind of happened was like good for me.
Yeah.
And so then it kind of just, I don't know, I just stayed. I don't know. Like there was no, I guess, reason.
Yeah.
To not?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay, I've been doing this every episode. Okay. And it's like viewers ask questions.
I love that.
Okay, so it's like, you know what I mean? Like we ask the outside. Okay. So, first question, there's 3. Mm-hmm. Dream job. Tour. Yeah, like world tour. Like with who?
Taylor Swift.
Really? Would be like, oh my god, you totally could be though.
Would be like, oh my god. And totally. I went to the Eras tour and I saw it because I had like a couple friends
who were on it,
and I was just like, yeah, Sam was on it, and then Tamia, who do you know Ronnie Lewis?
Oh yeah.
His sister.
Oh
yeah, and then my ballroom teacher too.
Really?
From Mather was on it. Yeah. And so I like went and I was just like, this is it. Like I need this.
You totally could do that.
So that's like end goal dream job, and then also like a mom. Like I want to be a mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now that's like down the line. I want to do like all my dance stuff first, but that's another dream job for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one person, like a dancer, it can be like not your age, that you'd have a duet with, like if you could?
Okay, this is hard. A duo. Like competition?
Sure.
Okay.
But like, don't like take age into a factor.
Okay, like girl or boy?
Doesn't matter.
Shoot.
Should I narrow it down?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Boy.
Okay. I mean, I've always like danced with Diego.
He's so like good.
That would have been cool, but obviously like Emma was his duet partner, so like that was never like a thing.
Yeah.
Or like Sam.
He's really good
love
too.
Sam. He's amazing. I don't know. I would just love to dance with either of them. Yeah. Someone who would like do the sick lifts, you know.
Yeah, those
there
really
would need
cool
to
lifts.
be like the lifts involved, the whole shebang.
Yep.
Fireworks going on.
What's your advice as like post graduation, you're out of it, to people who are like coming up in the dance world? Like let's say they're in like the junior category. Like what advice would you give them?
Trust the process. I think that's a big thing right now is like, and it's kind of, I guess, in the parents as well. It's like they get so
into it.
Right. And I see that too now because I'm a teacher also, which is interesting to be on that side because I think a lot of parents too, it like they have all the good intentions for it, but it's like they do things that really aren't right for their kids. You know what I mean? And that goes for the kids too. It's like they get so wrapped up in like what's the good thing and what's the bad thing and what's this and what's that. But really at the end of the day, it's like if you just keep your training up and you just keep
everything
working for it, it's like you'll get there.
Yeah.
So I think just like, and you have to, if you're at a studio where you like have faith in the teachers that you're taking from, there shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're choosing a dance studio already. So it's like, if you're choosing that dance studio, then you have to like have some trust in the dance teacher. So then just like trust them.
Right.
You know? So I think just trusting like the whole
I think parents should just not be involved in their dance.
I agree.
In their kids' life.
I agree. They can pay the bills.
Yeah, pay the bills. Send the check to the studio.
They can do the
drop your kid off.
They can pack the lunch and then get the boot because I think they definitely, I've seen it too many times where it's like it affects the kids way too much, and then these poor kids are like so talented and so gifted and have like this passion for it. It just kind of doesn't go anywhere for them, and it makes me so sad.
Get burnt out so fast.
Right. So I think if everyone would just like chill out a little bit.
I agree. Okay, this is another tradition that I've done every episode.
Okay.
A pro and a con of me.
Okay. Pro of Ken's couch. She is so talented and she's so nice and she's never been anything but kind to me. So I appreciate that so much. But a con of Ken's couch is that I haven't heard from Ken's couch in a long time.
No, we're gonna
until
change
I was
that
on the freaking podcast.
Yeah, but you were like one of the first people I texted to come on.
Okay, but
I thought of you first.
Still, that's the biggest con is that we need to hang out.
We do need to hang out more. Okay, now I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Merch that is not out yet.
Yes.
So pick which one you want. We have gray and green.
Okay, love it.
You can have both, but blue and white.
I might go for the gray.
Gray and green?
Yes.
Feel the inside. It's so comfy.
Wait, it's soft.
Yay!
This is so cute. Thank you.
I'm going to get more colors, and then when we hang out, I'll bring you more colors.
Yeah, when you hang out. And you don't freaking ghost me for 5 years.
And then you have to sign our board.
Love it.
With everyone's name.
I need a pen.
Oh, I'll give you that after. But I thank you so much for coming. I love you. Tell everyone where they can find you to keep up with your life.
Yeah, so my Instagram, you can find me there. It's Emily Madden 11. I post on TikTok sometimes.
Slay.
It's 11 Emily Madden, so just switch it up. Yep, and then Velocity, you can find me there this season. If you
Go find her.
Come say hi. I'll be on stage. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Aw, I love you.
Thank you so
for
having
much.
me. This was so fun.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next week. Bye.